Okay, so we do a little warm up, we use the ball, we use some weights today as well, work the arms and the waist a little bit as well. So just getting our set up position, we want our feet underneath our knees and parallel and hip width apart, but a bit wider if you need it for balance. And we want our shoulders over our hips, so we're pulling up nice and tall through an imaginary kind of thread. And our shoulders are back and down, we're opening across the chest, lengthening from the top of the head. And just take a few nice deep breaths in here and out. So as we're breathing in, you're imagining your rib cage expanding as you breathe out, squeezing in, give your bump a little squeeze, squeeze your pelvic floor as well. Breathing in, breathing out. One more nice deep breath. Lovely. Let's add a little head. Breathe in, lift the chin. Breathe out, tip the head, tuck the chin in, lengthen the back of the neck. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, lengthen. Again, on that out breath, squeeze the tummy a little bit. Working from the inside out. Let's add some arms, palms forward. Let's let the rib cage lift up, feeling your tummy stretch. And then down, palms down. Reach back, squeeze those arms slightly. Wake up those triceps. Breathe in and out. And in and out. One more. Swing the arms. And out and back to centre. Lovely. You can rest your hands on your knees or the side of the ball, whatever you find easiest. And let's do a little circle with the nose. Let's get his neck warmed up. Lovely. Let's change direction. Good. Let's take that ear to the shoulder and feel these shoulders drawing down. And then change. Release any tension in the neck. Lovely. Try and move with breath. So breathe in, breathe out. Hold a breath here. Breathe in, breathe out and change. Breathe in, breathe out. Last time, let's change to the right. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's hold. Let's just have two fingers and the sense of pulling your ear as if your neck is coming upwards. So you're lengthening the neck and getting a stretch as well. Just gentle pressure with your fingers. Lovely. And then release. Let's change sides. So tip the ear, tip the head, and then again that feeling of lengthening up and tip. Lovely. And release. Good. Let's have a little look right and left as well. Again, moving with the breath. Just a little squeeze in your tummy just to keep yourself engaged, to keep your balance on the ball. Lovely. Let's add the arms. So we're going to take the arms, wrap around and look to the back. Bring the arms back. Come back to the front and wrap the other way. So we keep moving gently side to side. So we're slowly moving the head, pushing the shoulder back a little bit, a little spine twist, and again open and twist. This time we'll hold, open, twist and hold. And then change sides and hold. And back to centre, lovely. So a little bend in the spine, so we can start with the hands on the ball and we just very gently, little tip to the side and come back up. Lovely. So try and keep your head aligned so your head doesn't go as well. So this stays straight and just tips down, and you just use a little bit of squeeze in here to bring yourself back up. So it's going to warm up the spine and the waist. We'll add some weights onto this once we're a bit warmer, so we can work that waist just a little bit whilst we're sitting up. Good. If you want to add a hand to the head, keep your elbow back, squeeze. Lovely, really nice. Come back to centre and change. And come back and change. come back and change. Can we add both hands? Again, see how you feel. If you want that hand still on support, or you can have both hands and just gently, lovely. So we try not to round at all. We're keeping nice and straight. Lovely, and back. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out as you're squeezing back. Breathing in. Breathe out back to centre. Let's do one more on the other side, and then I'm going to hold next time we go that way. I'm going to hold, and I'm going to have my hand on the ball. I'm just going to reach. So this one is just a nice stretch. Let the head relax. If it's tension in the neck, you can always just look down. Feeling a nice stretch around the hips and the back. Keep the arm near the ear if you can, lovely, and release. Good, let's change sides. Holding the ball, reaching up and reach over, lovely. Breathe into it. And release. Good, let's warm these shoulders up a little bit. So we're going to roll the shoulders. So nice big movement, you bring them forward, up and back. So really sort of big range of motion, lovely. And then let's take them forwards. So back, squeeze them up and forward. So really get some movement. Lovely. Then I'm going to take the hands to the shoulders. Doesn't matter if they don't reach, wherever they can sit comfortably, and just circle with your elbows. So try and bring your elbows together. Push them up. Try and reach them back and down. So again, that whole nice range. And just let your hands, wherever your hands sit naturally, let them move around. Lovely, let's switch direction. Reach back, up and in. Nice. Again, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. So try and breathe with your body movements. One more. Can we now do full circles backwards? So keeping your ribs down, so we don't want to let the rib cage or the spine change shape. So we're not lifting, just circle those arms. Lovely, let's change direction. So circle, really nice. Good balance, well done. Two more. Last one, lovely. It's just a little bit of warming up for the lower back. So I'm just going to tip side to side. Very gently. That's it, lovely. Still keeping up tall, so you're kind of getting a little crunch in the waist a little bit. It's just warming up these lower back and these hips, lovely. Then I'm going to take it to back and forward, so we just tuck under slightly and then back. That's it, lovely. So kind of like a pelvic tilt, like when we do a cat stretch of tucking under and then pushing back. Lovely, breathing in, breathe in, breathe out. Lovely, two more. And then we're going to do a full circle. So let's circle the hips around. Again, this is a really nice one to do. And just let those hips feel nice and comfortable, nice and fluid. And then let's switch direction. Lovely, one more. And relax, good stuff. Okay, let's do a little bit of work for the arms. I'm going to warm the arms up first before we start using some weights. So elbows in at the waist, and then your arms in a nice 90-degree angle, shoulders back and down, and then we open up the arms. So as you're opening up the arms, it's opening up your chest and it's pulling your shoulders back. Reach back with the thumbs and close. So you squeeze those shoulders together, squeeze the back of them and then release, lovely. And again, little squeeze of the tummy, nice strong energy running from your elbows to your fingertips. So stretch those fingers, especially working on your computer. You want to get a little stretch in those hands and fingers as well, lovely. I'm going to add a reach. So breathe in, reach out, so if you're trying to touch the wall, squeeze in and close. I'm going to move over slightly, I keep whacking my cupboard. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, reach And out. Let's do one more. Lovely, and close. Good. So this time, from this position, turn your hands in. Going to take the arms up, and then we're going to open up. And then just reverse that. So down, close, down. This is one of the exercises we're going to do with the weights. So it's just good to get your head knowing what your arms are going to be doing. Reach back, rotate down, and close. We'll hold them up this time. And then we're just going to do one arm at a time. Down and lift and down. I'm going to add a head to warm up the neck. And look one way, same as the arm. Breathe in, centre. Breathe out. Keep your elbows level. So we want to try not to let this happen. Shoulder down, elbows down. So we're nice straight line. And centre, lovely. Down and centre, one more. And then bring those arms up, hold them here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release, lovely. So let's go for some weights. Again, you can use whichever ones you want. Just remember, even though it's arms that are working, we're on a ball, so you're going to be recruiting extra muscles. So, and because we're going to be lifting the arms away from the body, I tend to stick to something quite light. So, shoulders down, elbows in, and open up the arms. The same, very similar to what we did. The chest opener, warming up, open up. So you're pushing those weights back, again squeezing the tummy, pulling up tall. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lovely. And using the breath, so spine stays still. Squeeze your pelvic floor, squeeze your tummy. Breathe. And release. Going to add a little bit extra onto this, a small bicep curl. So we open up and then we're going to just take these up to the shoulders. It's the same, your palms are facing forward and down and close, lovely. And open and up. That's it. So it's called a hammer curl. So instead of just a normal bicep curl, you're doing it to the side. That's basically what it is. We're just slowing it down, side, up. So you slightly rotate, down, and close. Open, rotate, up, and close, lovely. Close, open, rotate, and down. Coming back to centre, let's just do some normal bicep curls. So gently squeezing up and gently lowering down. Squeeze, really think of the muscles you're working with. Think of those biceps, that's here. Think of that muscle when you bring the weights up. Squeeze them and lower, lovely. Let's do 4 more. And 3, lovely. You want nice strong arms, all of the baby equipment you're going to be carrying. 2, there's always a bag and a baby and then a load of other stuff. And 1, lovely. Just let them relax for a moment. So we're going to take the arms out to the side. So that was predominantly working our bicep muscle. So what we're going to do is have the hands in this position, so your palms are facing each other, and then we open up here. So you still keep your arm in this position and close. So this is working these muscles around the back and the shoulders. And squeeze. So on the way down, it's like you're squeezing a balloon on your armpit. Squeeze down. So we lift up and squeeze down. Lovely. Breathe in and out and in and out. Lovely. Keeping those elbows shoulder height. Let's do 4 more. Wonderful. 3 more. And we're going to add on. Again, if it gets too much, just take the weights away. 2 and 1. Just rest for a moment. I'm going to continue with that set, but add a rotation. So we're going to here, open up, rotate, rotate down, and close. So again, now we're starting to work the rotator cuff, the mobility in the shoulders, some very good maintenance work. Nice and gentle, but because it's slow and controlled, it's still really going to hurt, really going to work those muscles. So lose the weights if you need to. Let's do 4 more of these. Reach and rotate, rotate and close. Lovely. 3 more. Last 2. Wonderful. 1 more. We'll do 1 more set in these weights, and then we'll leave the arms there. Give them a little shake. So next one I want to do is chest press and shoulder press. So we've worked here, and we've worked the top, and we've worked here. So we want to work the shoulders a little bit more, and the pectoral muscles. So we're going to be opening and closing, lifting and lowering. So again, that open and close is quite hard with the weights, but give it a try, and if not, we can lose them. We're only going to do 8 in total. So we close, squeeze together if you can, don't worry if you can't. Open, reach up, pull down. Lovely, that's 1. Close and open. Reach up, so you're having to use a lot of your core muscles to keep you steady on the ball because your arms are moving, you've got weights pulling you off balance. Reach up and down. Wonderful, that's 3. 1 more and we're halfway through. Fantastic. Let's do 4 more. And 2. Try and relax the neck. Got 2 more. Really good. Last 1. Good. Let's lose these weights for a second. And give the shoulders a little roll. Well done. And just arms open and close gently, just to sort of release those arms a little bit. A different arm workout today rather than push-ups on the ball, something nice, something different. So 1 arm, take the hand to the shoulder, and then with the other hand we can just push, pull that back. You're feeling a stretch across the shoulder. Lovely, let's change sides to the shoulder and back, lovely. And then let's take our hands behind, link them together and push the hands down and lift the chest up. So stretching the chest, stretching the shoulders back. And then reverse the hands in front, round the back, let the head drop down, separate those shoulders, reach those hands forward and round in that back. Lovely, really nice, good. So I want to use the weights again, but again this is to work the waist, and again it's optional. So I'm still going to have, you can probably go a little bit heavier because we're not having to lift them, but again do work with what works for you. And just very gently, follow my feet a bit wider, because here it's going to pull you off balance a little bit, and it's just a gentle reach down, it's not very far, and come back. And if you're feeling any sort of uncomfortable feelings, just lose the weight. And back, good lift. So we're just getting some nice working in the waist. You can always just focus on one side at a time if you prefer. So you could always lose one weight, have your hand for support and just stay on one side. If you're happy, continue just with both gently. Hit down. And up. And almost lean probably forward a little bit as well, so you're not too upright, so you've got a bit more space for the weights. Lovely. Let's now stay on this side, so just down and lift and down. So it's kind of like you're pulsing, lift and down and lift and down. Let's switch to the other side, down and lift, squeeze, breathe and lift, down, 2, 1, lovely, release. Let's lose the weights. I'm moving right out of the way, so I'm not going to kick them. Okay, so I am going to just turn sideways so you can see me, but I just want to create a little bit of a C shape, so we're just slightly curled under, so a bit of a pelvic tilt, but not too much pressure on the abdominals. It's just a little squeeze. You're leaning back a little bit. You can sense that you're working the tummy, but it's not too much. That's all we want to do. And just hold here and see how that feels. Hold for a few, and then we can come back up again. So it's nice and small. So it's kind of like you roll down and come back. So it's not too much of a movement. It's getting a nice stretch in the back, and you are using your abdominals a bit, but you're not. We want to do nice and gentle. We don't want to do any severe crunching. It's just very small. Just so you can feel your tummy engaging, and nothing too much more. Lovely. So this time let's take it here and hold if we can. Can we lift some arms? I'll come back to front so I can see you now. I just want to do the same. That's it. So I'm going to lift an arm and lower one at a time. So I'm just leaning back again just a little bit, squeezing the tummy. I'm having to use the abdominals to hold me. And when you lift an arm, you have to use those abs a little bit more. So again, you just work with what's comfortable. Just really use this exercise to squeeze your tummy as much as you can. Squeeze your pelvic floor, so we're giving those a little workout, but again it's nice and gentle. Lovely. Can we do double arms up and down? Lovely. And breathe in and out. Again, if it gets a bit much, just lift up a little bit higher. Breathe in and out. One more. And release. And then just coming up, sitting up tall. Going to work the core a little bit more without tucking under too much so you're not squashing. And can we lift the toes and the balls of the feet off the floor, and then lift the heels. So we're just lifting and pointing just to give the feet a little bit of warming up those ankles a little bit. Lovely. And then come back to centre. Good. So I'm going to take the hands in front, and what I want to do is just, and again you can hold the ball if you want, I just want to lift the right leg. It's a small lift, you can just see my foot, and lower. And then the left leg, and lower. So this one we're trying to start tall as much as we can. If you need to take your legs out to the side because you bump, that's fine, just whatever is comfortable. And it could just be a small lift of the heel. You haven't even got to take the foot off. Just work with what works for you. Could we have the arms in front? So you're just challenging that balance a little bit more. And again, lean back a little bit if you need to, if that's comfortable. Obviously, it gives you a bit more space. If you're sat upright, it's hard to lift your legs. So whatever is comfortable, lift. And lower. Good, lovely lift. And again, you're just working the core nice and gently. Then I want to try and add an arm. Hello. Add an arm and a leg. So it's kind of like a puppet string. As one arm goes up, one leg comes up. It's optional, so you can lose the arms and just keep them out in front if you want. Opposite arm to leg. There's a bit of coordination for the brain and the body. It's also really challenging the core, lifting both. Now you've got an arm and a leg. Let's do two more. Last one. Oh, wonderful, really nice. Good. Okay, so I want to do a little bit of work on the side. So this one, similar to what we've done before. Last few weeks we've very much, I'm just going to check my position of my camera. Yeah, you can just see, can't you? That's better. So last few weeks we've been lying flat on the floor lifting the legs, so I'm just going to do it kneeling up, but the ball is going to be our support. So kneeling here, and I'm going to take one leg out to the side, and my leg is straight down. Ball is to the side of me. So if I didn't have a ball, I would just be leaning to the side, but I'm going to use the ball to kind of lean over and fall into a little bit, if that makes sense. I've got a lot of support. I'm slightly on this arm, but the arm's really just holding me there. So it's just like I'm leaning on the ball, that's it. So if it's uncomfortable, we can always lose the ball. We're just going to lift the leg up and down, lift and lower, lovely, that's it. So you've got hold of your ball, perfect. You can do it that way, yeah, challenges the balance. It's not quite long, you can reach your arm down, but wherever you feel you're getting enough support, try not to grip the underneath foot. Shoulders back, hips on top of hips, knees on top of knees, neck is relaxed. If you feel any tension, you can always look down. Lovely, lift. So we're trying to get hip height, but don't worry if not. And lift. and lower, and lift, and lower. We've got 3 more here, then I'm going to slightly change the momentum, but still use this, be in the same position. So I want to flex the foot and gently swing it forward. And again, if it's lower down, that's fine. And then I'm going to point the foot and I'm going to squeeze it back. So it's only just, so there's my hip line, it's just going back, sort of just past. So you don't want to arch the body. So you're just squeezing it behind you, squeezing your bum, flex it forward, kick, point it, take it back. So don't worry too much about the feet. You're just swinging your leg very gently forward and back. Nothing else is moving. Try not to kick the cat. Classic cat, right in the way. And sweep back, lovely. If your neck's starting to feel stressful, let's just look, gaze down to the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. One more. Okay, what I'd like to try and do is think of your knee turning up to the ceiling. So instead of your leg being there, you're up that way. So opening up a little bit if you can, and your knees coming up and down and up. That's it. So instead of being here, if you can turn out a little bit, that's it, perfect. And I'm going to add an arm, but again, it's up to you. So I'm reaching and I'm trying to take elbow to knees. Just gently working these obliques, challenging that balance. And reach. Breathe in, breathe out, squeeze. Breathe in, breathe out. Do 2 more. Last one. Going to come back to our original position, hand on the ball, leg out, flex the foot, just pulse. For 2, for 3, for 4, for 5, 6, 7, 8. Lovely, sit down. We should feel that in that hip. So just stay in here for a moment. We've got the knees, the feet tucked under. And I'm just going to reach and come back. So nice gentle reach and a roll. Again, the closer the ball is to you, the more supported you'll feel. The further away, the more you're kind of having to use the shoulder. So whatever is comfortable for you. Let's add that upper arm reach. So it's nice and fluid. Breathe. And again, reach. Lovely. Last time, this arm that's above, and you grab your leg and then just take the other arm up and over. So you're just stretching the side you've leaned on. That's it, lovely. Oh, lovely stuff. So we're going to work the other leg on the other side. So we're on our knees, got the foot out so your foot is level with your knee. We've got the ball to the side. Space. That's it. And then we're going to lean into the ball. Good. And again, if you can, hand on the floor, hand here, whatever, just try and stack your hips. And have yourself nice and aligned, shoulders back. Let's lift and lower that top leg. Lift and lower. Lovely, really nice alignment. Well done. Lift and lower. Give your tummy a little squeeze. Lift. And I'm going to let your head relax a bit so you're not trying to keep your head up and get stress in the neck. Relax. And lift. And lower. Lovely. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. One more. Then let's hold that leg up, flex the foot, gently sweep it forwards, point it, sweep it back. So the way back's just squeezing the bottom, that's all. There's no movement in the spine or the lower back. Flex gently forward. So your whole body's still and it's just the leg moving back and forth. So it really challenges the core muscles, this one. Lovely. Sweep it back. Fantastic. Breathe and breathe. So breathe in with your movement. Breathing in, breathe out. Let's do 2 more of these. One more. Lovely. Then thinking of that knee, bring it in and like the oyster, you open it up. So your knees up to the ceiling. Bring it in and back down. And in and down. Lovely. We can start to think of this other hand. Can it be reaching up over the head? Can we bring elbow to knee? So the upper arm is optional if you need to hang on to your ball. Squeeze. Breathe in. Squeeze. Keep that knee up to the ceiling. Lovely position. Well done. Let's do 3 more. 2. One more. Hand back on the ball, leg back to original position, hold it out and just pulse up for 2, for 3, for 4, for 5, 6, 7 and 8. Lovely. Let's gently come to the knees. And we're just going to move side to side. Again, just reaching over and come back up. And with breath. And we had the top arm, reach and back. Lovely, reach and back. 2 more. Then with your arm that's over your head, bring it back, grab your legs to pull you, to hold on to, and then release the other arm over. So it's a mermaid stretch, stretching that side. We've just been lifting as well, that's been underneath us. Lovely. And release, wonderful. So let's turn onto the knees. A little bit of work for the back. So knees are hip width apart and they're straight underneath you. I'm just going to roll the ball forward and get a nice stretch in the arms, reach, and then pull back. So it's a little bit like a cat stretch. So I'm going to reach forward, I'm going to let the back arch as much as you're comfortable with, let your tummy stretch, push through your chest down as much as your shoulders are comfortable with, and then feel your tummy squeeze and then draw the ball backwards, round the back, arch, and then we come up. So we breathe in, lengthen, breathe out, pull back. Lovely, and again, breathe in, lengthen, that's it. Don't let the head drop too much, keep your ears in line with your arms. So always aligned in that neck, wonderful. Let's go again. Last one, let's hold it here, just get a nice stretch through those shoulders. And then gently come back to child pose, opening the knees a bit more, supporting yourself however you need to on the ball. Lovely. So I want to do a little bit of work without the ball for a moment. We're going to work on all fours. In fact, we haven't really warmed the wrists up too much, so let's do it on the elbows. So the elbows are right underneath the shoulders, the head is tucked in, knees underneath hips, and we want to be not collapsed, but nice and strong, head is straight down. So we're just going to take our leg straight back, and we're trying to keep this bit level, so we don't want to lift the leg and start arching and twisting. Very small, just lift the leg and lower, and lift, and lower. So straight leg lift, and lower. So we're working into our shoulders a little bit here. We're working our glutes, working the core, working the back. So squeezing your tummy, and lift, lovely, and lift. 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. Whilst you're here, keep your leg out, flex your foot and just bring your leg in and straighten. So the leg is lifted all the time, in and straighten, lovely. In, so we're getting a nice stretch in the front of our leg, in our hip flexor, but we're also working the glute at the same time. Lengthen, let that head relax, so looking down, tucking in, try not to look here because you get stress on the neck, let it drop down, almost looking at your knees. Then keep the leg bent and let's pulse up. 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. We've got one more exercise like this. The knee that's in the air, take it down behind your other knee. So like you're crossing your legs and then you're pushing back up. And then you cross down, but don't let the body sink. So we don't want to drop down. And squeeze. And down. And squeeze up. Like you're kicking the ceiling away with your foot. Kick. Lovely. Let's do 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Wonderful stuff. Let's put the knees down, open them, and just sit back into child pose. Wonderful, let's do the other leg. So we're going to come up onto our elbows again, knees under hips, shoulders back, tummy in, nice and strong. Other leg, just straight lift up and down again, not too high, you don't want any rotation. Imagine you've got a nice cup of tea on your back and the chin is tucked in, so your forehead's kind of level with the floor, just looking at your knees underneath you. Lovely, and squeeze that bottom, lifting up, so really get nice work for the glutes. Wonderful, and squeeze. And squeeze. Squeeze. Let's do 3 more. 2, 1. Hold it here, just bend at the knee, kick the leg in towards you. So you're just kicking your foot in towards your bottom. Try not to lean over to the side that your knee is on. So if your knee is on the floor, your right knee, try and keep central, don't sway over to the right. That's what it wants to do, but we're trying to use the core, hold us in position to get a lovely stretch. Kick that foot back to try and touch the bottom. Lovely, and squeeze. Nice lengthening. 3 more, and 2, and 1. Now the foot is up and we are going to kick up, and up, and up, and up. 4 more, and 4, and 3. Keep that tummy nice and tight, neck relaxed, and 1. Then we're going to cross the leg, bring it behind. So you're crossing the legs, pushing back up, crossing the leg, pushing back up, cross, and push. 4 more. We can do this. Well done. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Let's relax. Let's sit back. Stretch those legs out. Coming up. Lovely. So I'm going to use the ball again. So this time we can do a few without the ball. Again, we're on our knees, and we're just going to gently lean back and come back. So we do it in one whole block. So you squeeze in the tummy, we just lean and come back. So you're feeling it here. So no bending, just lean and back. Lovely. So we can add some arms if we want. Lean and back. Lovely. Can we add the ball? Again, it's just adding weights. It's up to you. Holding the ball, giving it a squeeze with the hand, lean back and up. So these are all options. Lean back and up. Breathe in and out. Lovely. In and out. Going to add a little twist onto this. So we lean back, small rotation, center, come back up. Lean back, rotate the other way, centre and up. I'm going to switch positions. Got room, lean back, twist, centre and lift. Lovely, back, twist, centre and lift. Let's do 1 more each side, back, twist. Let's do 1 more. Wonderful. And release, good. So I want to do a little stretch for our hips. So let's come back to the ball. Sitting on the ball. And again, I'm going to have something nearby. And what I'm going to do is cross the leg. So this is one we normally do on our back, but we can do it seated. So you can do it on the floor or on the ball. Cross the legs. And then this knee, I'm going to slowly pull it back. So I've now got an ankle across the knee. It's easy to start with a cross leg and grab onto something or have the ball against the wall, or you can do this on the floor. Lovely. So we're feeling this all around the hips. It takes a bit to get into, so we'll see how this feels to start with. Again, hang on if you need to. If you don't, sometimes you can feel stable on the ball. And the idea is I'm just going to keep trying to lean towards the leg. So just gently see how that feels. nice stretch in your glutes, really good for your hips, opens up tight hips. You should feel it relatively easy because your hips should be a bit looser, but we just want to do this gently. Again, letting the neck relax. And then let's come up, let's give our feet a bit of attention, so just sort of relaxing the foot wherever it is comfortable. And I'm just going to roll it round. We never tend to do much for our ankles. I've just got a hold of my foot. So you can hold it with your hand and give it a nice massage around. But again, if you need to hang on to something, then just do it itself. And change direction. And just to give the foot a stretch, we want to sort of stretch it that way. Lovely. And then we shall do the opposite and flex the foot. And give your toes a little stretch as well. Lovely. Let's release, we change sides. So we're going to cross the foot, cross the legs first, and then get ourselves nice and balanced, or hang on to something and then slowly going to bring that leg up. You can just take the leg straight across, but sometimes it can be a bit much on the knees, so it's better to slowly come into it. I find where your knees are comfortable, where you've got room, and just gently lean forward, and you should feel the stretch in this hip. Lovely, let's come up, let's just do this foot so we can circle it round. My feet are freezing on the wooden floor. And again, you can circle with one hand, grab onto something with the other.
I'm just going to get my charger because my battery's dying.
Okay. Lovely. Just pop yourself back on mute when you're done, because then otherwise I think it will record you if you speak. Lovely. So we're just giving that ankle a little roll around that foot. And the other way. And then we'll give these toes a little stretch, so we flex the ankle one way, so like you're pointing your foot. And then we can change direction, flex, feeling a nice stretch in the toes and the foot. Lovely. So we'll do a little bit of work for our hamstrings as well. So this one, we're just going to let our bottom roll down the ball. So we're kind of sat in this position, we're leaning against the ball. So what we can do is support the head if we want to, and we're just going to squeeze. It's basically like a, hip thrust exercise. So we just drop down gently and lift up, so we're not really lying on the back. You're just supported by the ball, drop down, and it's, you can lean back as far as you want, or you can just keep yourself up, but it's just lift and drop and down, squeeze, lovely, down and squeeze, fantastic. Let's do another 8, 7, 6, 5, keep breathing, 'and last one. Lovely. Then we can stay down on the floor. You can let your head go back as far as you're comfortable with. You can let your legs go where they want. Can we open back these elbows just to get a real nice stretch in the upper back and the chest? And just holding here for a minute, getting a nice stretch, relaxing into it, really opening up the chest and the shoulders. Lovely, and then very gently I'm going to bring those elbows in, lift my head, wonderful. So coming up, we're going to come to the knees and do some nice stretches for the legs. So you use the ball to help us. So I'm on my knees. Let's do a little lower back stretch first. So the ball is just going to do its own thing. So I've got my hands on your lower back and just push your hips forward, and then you're just supporting yourself. Just slightly lift. So this one is the lower back. So on the ball we did the upper back. This is just a nice stretch for the lower back. So pushing this way, and you're just supporting that lower back, just feeling a nice stretch. Try and relax all the legs. Lovely, gently release. Good. So I'm going to put one leg forward, keeping the knee over the ankle. And then we can just slowly lean and come back, and you can use the ball to help get a little bit of movement. You can keep going deeper each time, but just make sure you scooch your foot forwards. If you do sink down, your knee isn't travelling past your foot. You can take the weight into the ball a little bit, especially if your knees hurt, putting your weight into them. Just feeling this nice stretch. You're supported with the ball. Drawing your hips down, lovely. From here, can we have a very small twist? So the hand that's the same as the leg, just take the back of your hand, slide it round, and just small turn over the shoulder. Lovely, let's release very gently. Come back up and switch legs. Again, leg here. Slowly lean into it and back. Lean and back. Again, keeping your knee over your foot. So if you need to scooch your foot forward, if you want to go lower. And again, if that leg's hurt, you can lean on that ball a little bit more. Have a bit of support, making sure your ball won't fly away, roll away even. Then the same hand as me in a minute, we're going to use that one. So the back of the hand, just slide it round the back and then just follow over that shoulder. Lovely, and gently release. Good. So I want to stretch the legs out a little bit. I'm going to come up to standing, but I'm going to have the ball here. So again, the further apart your feet are, the less tight it will be in the legs. So if you're very tight in the legs, feet wide. The closer they are, the more it's going to lengthen the back of the leg. And the same thing, if you need to have your knees bent a bit, just do. So all I want to do is like a down dog, but on the ball. So I'm stretching the back. You can feel the backs of your legs stretch. And then release. And then stretch it. If you need a little bend or you need your feet wide, just go with what works for you. And again, release and stretch. You can roll forward very slightly, feel the weight in the front of the feet, and you'll feel the stretch in the back of the leg. Lovely release. Good. So I want to stretch the hamstring. So I'm going to have, I'm going to chop my head off, but I'm going to have my foot here, hands on my hips, and I'm just going to push back. So if that's too tight, it's the same as a hamstring standing stretch. But if you can, you can get the leg here, you can have it more supported if you prefer. Try to have the leg straight and then lean into it. Again, that could be tight, so do just have the foot on the floor. Or don't lean down so far as well, is another option. I'm really leaning down so you can see just a bit out of the mirror otherwise, out of the camera. Again, you could bend this supporting knee if you want, and you're pushing the back, so we're trying to get the stretch in this front leg. Lovely, release. I'm going to switch legs. I'm going to keep the ball where it is, maybe have the ball here, see that it feels. Bend the supporting leg and lean into it a little bit. You haven't got to have this one straight, you can bend it, hang on to something. And gently release. Let's come to sitting on the ball. Ooh, lovely. Let's have a little circle round, just to release the lower back and the hips. Wonderful. And the other way. And then could we do a figure of 8? So round one way, round the other way. There's a lot of round and then round. It's kind of like circle one way and circle the other way, really. Just get some nice movement, nice and fluid. One more. Back to centre, lovely. So a little stretch for the waist as we did all those work with those weights. Hold the ball, just look gently, temple, hand to temple, reach down, just a little stretch. And then we can just add an arm, reach. Coming up, let's take that finger, lengthen the ear and reach. In this hand we're drawing down, getting a nice stretch in the neck. Rotate the neck, looking down. Back to centre, let's switch sides, so very gently sliding down, hands here, and then adding that reach, keeping that arm near the ear. And then come up this hand and grab the ear, lengthen and tip and stretch that hand away, flexing the heel of the hand. Lovely. Let's rotate and look down. Lovely, and release. Let's just give these wrists a little bit of a stretch, circling them round. Might feel some clicking and bits, that's fine. And change direction. And think of them just flicking up and down like you're revving a bike. And then gently with one hand, I'm just going to pull it back, getting a stretch all the way down here. And then let's take the other hand, gently stretch, lovely. And then taking both hands, the backs of your hands on your waist, so you can stretch your wrist the other way. Lovely. Then we're going to take the hands behind, reach down, stretch the chest, lifting it up. You can open the feet a bit wider if you want. If you've got space and you're comfortable, you can lean forward, try and take your arms up. Gently come up. Let's reverse that by hands forward, stretch them forward, round the back, tuck the chin in. And release. Let's just do a little shoulder stretch again. Hand on the shoulder and just gently pull that across. And let's release. Hand on the shoulder. Lovely. Let's take the hands and push them forward. And reach them up. Let your shoulders shrug up to your ears. And release. And then again, reach up. And release. And again. And release. Lovely. Little twists. Arms across. Just rotate one way. And the other way. And then back to the other side. And I'm just going to have my hand on my knee so I can push a bit further and take the arm around, looking back behind. Slowly release. Let's switch sides. So hand on the knee to twist, the other hand behind, looking back. And gently release. Let's take a nice breath to finish. Breathe in. And release. And again, breathe in. And release one more. Pull back and give yourself a clap. Thank you.